Okay, look. Hey, come on, everybody look at it, look. Okay, you have to remember on the AP test, you do not let whatever they do intimidate you. You don't look at something, like I get the, why? Fear emanating from the front row. Look, come on, listen. I will say often in the next 3 months, being successful on May 5th, you've got to have a good understanding of calculus, but you also have to have the right habits. Okay? One habit is you don't look at it and worry. You just accept whatever they give you and start working. It says find a limit. So I don't care that it looks horrendous. I just go through my limit flashcard. Is H approaching infinity? No. Skip that. Can't really factor and divide. Skip that. Third option, L'Hopital's rule. So I need to take the test. So put in a 0 here. If you integrate from 1 to 1, what will the result always be? 0. Bottom 0 as well, so pass the test. This is what I mean, look. You don't worry about what the problem looks like. You just go to your flashcards, you apply the rules. So L'Hopital's rule work. So I need the derivative of the top. Well, you learned today to use your green card. Now look, you always take the derivative of L'Hopital's rule in terms of the limiting variable. So don't take the derivative in terms of x, it's in terms of h. Okay. Question? So, derivative of an integral, it's easy. You just take the integrand, write it down, but in place of the input variable, plug in the upper limit. It looks terrible, but you don't worry about it. You just keep following the rule, multiplied by the derivative of the upper limit. Okay, so now they're combining two things we learned today. How to use the derivative of an integral with L'Hopital's rule. It looks terrible, but I don't care. I just write down the rule. Question. Minus the same thing with the lower limit. Except the derivative of the lower limit is 0, so this whole thing will become 0. And if you can do that in your head, you don't have to write it. They don't expect you to write it out. I'm writing it out so everyone can see. Please.
I'm curious why you take out the 8 on the,
Okay.
it's like you plug in like the f of x area, like the square root x squared plus 5 or x. That. Why you didn't take out the 8? Because isn't that part of like the integram or whatever?
The integrand.
Integram, is the 8 part of it, or is it just the square root of x?
The entire integrand is square root of x to the 5th plus 8. The rule says on your green card, to find the derivative of an integral, take whatever this is, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And in place of the input variable, plug in the upper limit.
Okay.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Point. Pretty good. This derivative is easy. What does it say?
1.
1, because the derivative of 1 would be 0. dH over dH would be 1, so this is 1. So now we have the numerators right here. That's the derivative of the numerator. I don't worry about it, I just write it down. What's the derivative of the denominator of this limit problem? Louder. What's the derivative of the denominator? 1. So you have a new limit problem. Looks like this. We're trying to find the limit as h approaches 0 of that. trying to determine when h is close to 0, what will this formula produce? Well, if h is close to 0, what's 1 plus close to 0? 1. What's close to 1 to the 5th power? Close to 1. What's close to 1 plus 8? Close to 9. What's square root of close to 9 is? 3. Close to 3. So the limit is 3. Done. Question? So despite the fact that it looks really intimidating, you want the habit of I don't care. I just work the problem. So. Please.
In that final step, do you always just like, I don't plug in isn't the right word, but
You are.
plug in the left kind of.
You are. You're definitely plugging in. Just make sure you're not plugging in exactly 0. You're plugging in close because you're thinking of a limit. I'd say 99% of the time it works just like you saw here. Really easy. I have seen 1 out of 100 problems where something more complicated happens, and I have to do L'Hopital's rule again. Right? It's not, again, remember the habit. You don't stress, you just work the problem. So you take the derivative of the top, you take the derivative of the bottom, and just do it again.
Nothing weird happens. You just do it at the
Just
bottom.
do it again. Okay. Listen, the homework is the goal.